Today we're going to look at transitions. Transition is just an effect which occurs between two clips on your timeline. But before we get to transitions, I just want to show you one other thing we haven't covered yet. That is, when you delete a clip, it leaves a gap. So I've got my two clips here, lake and butterfly. Just selected my first one. I'm just going to press the delete key and delete that. Okay, so now you can see we've got a large gap here. Now we want to avoid gaps in our video, so I'm just going to Control Z and undo that. And what I'm going to do now, instead of just pressing the delete key, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to Ripple Delete. If I click on that, you'll see that we've removed the other clip, the lake clip, and we've shuffled the butterfly clip along. So our delete has rippled to other clips on our timeline, which means that we've basically just moved those to the left along our timeline. So that is the ripple delete. So going back to transitions now, first thing we'll look at are video transitions. We use transitions to move between very different clips. So we've got our lake clip here, and then we've got our butterfly clip. Okay, so it's two very different settings. So to make the transition, if you will, or just the act of moving from this setting to this setting a little bit smoother, we're going to add a transition. To add a transition, just go to your Effects tab. So where you've got your project bin, you should have an Effects tab here. And you've got several presets. We'll talk about those later. You've got audio effects and audio transitions, video effects and video transitions, and Lumetri looks. We won't talk about Lumetri looks. But what we're interested in now is the video transitions. But first, to simply add a transition, we need to right click in between the clips and just go to Apply Default Transition. Okay, so that's added a transition between our two clips. So what does a transition do? Well, this particular one is called a cross dissolve, and that's the default. So that basically just fades in our footage. So I'll just play that very slowly. Okay, you can sort of see a fading in effect. You've got when you're going from one scene to the next scene. Okay, so it helps to smooth the transition from one scene to another by having that fade in effect. Now if we want to change that transition, the type of transition, we go back to our Effects tab here, Video Transitions, and we've got a very large number of transitions we can try. So let's try the Cube Spin 3D Motion, and you just drag that on top of your video transition that you already got there. So the workflow is to right click and go Apply Default Transition, and then to change that transition. I find that works the easiest. So let's have a look at the Cube Spin now. And there we go. And there's a number of other transitions you can try. I won't go through them all. That's not the purpose of this video. But you can try all of these out. So you can try a page peel. Just drag that on top of your existing transition. Play it through and see what it looks like. So try a few of those and get to know the ones you really like the best. The other thing you can do with transitions is to increase or decrease their length. So the easiest way to do that is just to put your mouse cursor towards the right of the transition. Make sure you've selected the transition, not the clip. It's very easy to click the other thing. So just get to the sides and just drag it. And we can increase the length of our duration, the duration of our transition. Okay, so you can shorten and lengthen transitions. There are other ways of shortening those, and this one, set transition duration. You can manually change the values here.